Welcome to all of you. Today, I'm going to discuss another VAT question. This may be useful for your university exam or any professional exams or any interest party who can refer this VAT question to get some idea on value-added tax. So this is our second question in this channel. So you can refer the previous question as well. This is question number 2 on value-added tax. This will discuss in detail with the apportionment of input tax attributable to exempt supply. Then how to disallow that based on the turnover basis, right? The first question we discuss normally directly in that particular question, we got exactly how much input tax attributable to exempt supply. Here we have to disallow based on the apportionment. So without further ado, we'll discuss the question. This is one of professional exam paper question, right? I just converted these figures into reason here. Let's convert it to 31st March 2023. Assess the requirement will read the first. Required assess balance VAT pay liability for the quarter ended 31st March 2023 as per the provision of value-added tax. Right? These the question, right? We'll discuss the question, all the adjustments. I converted these figures into the year into 2023. So, Sweetie Confectionery Private Limited SCP is a company incorporated in Sri Lanka. It is one of the leading manufacturers of confectionery in the country. And as part of its diversification, SCP stopped buying and selling tea. Then, as I said, in the question number 1, which I have already discussed in this channel, it was their solar panel as a new diversification, right? Then here, not normal business, they have a different one. You have to think again why they are giving these different type of thing, whether it might be exempt, right? If it is open book exam, you can refer to the exempt schedule or the value added tax act, and you can identify, yes, it is exempt. If it is not, you have to think in a way that you can understand by giving the question, by looking at the paper or by looking at the question, you can understand, yes, there is abnormal supply, sale is there, right? It is not coming as general business. That means it will fall under exempt supply, right? Then with the reason amendment, which will not be tested in the reason exam, because the government going to remove all the exemptions, right? Very few would be there, but for the time being, many exemptions are there. So make sure in the exam, out of the normal business, right? If the question says special business is there, you have to think it would be most probably exempt, right? Most probably it would be exempt, right? You need to be here, T is exempt, right? T is exempt, right? Then the question itself, by looking at the question, we can understand they have a separate supply. It would be exempt, right? It is exempt, right? The following information was extracted from the financial statement of the company prepared for the quarter ended 31st March 2023, right? Then these are the information, right? Revenue and the other income given for the quarter, right? For the quarter ended 31st March. Local sale confectionery exclusive of VAT. Exclusive කිව්වම, right? VAT එක නැතුව. That mean exclusive කියන්නේ VAT එක නැතුව, right? That mean 100, right? Inclusive local sale, again local sale, inclusive of VAT. Inclusive in the sense 115 with VAT. With VAT, without VAT කියන්නේ, right? With VAT කියන්නේ 150, right? So exclusive of VAT, again export. Export, again exclusive. Anyway, export should be exclusive because you know that here rate is 0%. Here rate is 15%. Here the rate is 15%, right? Exclusive of VAT, That means without VAT. That means 100. The sale of tea, anyway, it should be exclusive, right? Without VAT, right? That means 100. Because here this one, exempt supply, exempt sale, right? Exclusive, without VAT, right? Then the other income is scrap sale, inclusive. It is subject to VAT, right? Inclusive can be VAT with VAT, right? Rental income, exclusive, right? Rental income, exclusive of VAT, here, 100, right? Here, 100. Then the rent income, it will fall under taxable activity. Then we have to consider for tax as well. Rental income if you have. If you have interest income, there is a separate exclusion for interest. For rental, if you are registered for VAT, you have to consider for VAT as well, right? Then the total turnover given, right? SCP, here SCP, 1 second. Sorry for the disturbance, right? We'll start. Uh, Here, SCP issues tax invoices for rent from the beginning of each month, right? Here, it's anyway, we have get another confirmation in description. Again, rental income subject to VAT, right? So then anyway, we have confirmation. The VAT invoices are there, right? And the beginning of each month they are issuing. That's anyway, we don't care about that anyway. Then when they are issuing invoices, then it appears that they are issuing January, beginning of the month they will record turnover, and the February also they will have turnover, and the March also they will have turnover. Then anyway, per month, if we divide it by 3, then we will get how much rental income for per month. But anyway, we can consider directly that, right? So just a confirmation in the given intersection, right? So then scrap sales include sale of plastic can, bottle, carton, and some waste from the factory. Then scrap sale also connected to the business. Then anyway, we can consider for VAT purpose, right? It is connected to the taxable supply, right? Then the SCP has paid upfront VAT. Then in advance, they have paid VAT. That means input on relating to amount into rupees 19.025 million to Sri Lanka Customs for raw material import during the quarter, right? For import of raw material, this much of VAT they have paid. This is VAT paid amount, right? Not the value, VAT amount, right? This is the VAT, right? That means 15, right? Then the most of the students they think like this is the value, then they will multiply it by 15. Not, it is not the case. This is the VAT amount exactly, right? You need to consider that, right? During the year ended 31st March 2023, SCP paid VAT amount into 12.15 million, right? So during the quarter, SCP paid a VAT amount into rupees 12.15 million for local purchases, right? Then here also you can see, I read this one twice. Why? This is also paid VAT. This is also paid upfront VAT. Upfront කියන්නේ කලින් ගෙවන, right? VAT එක ගෙවලා. So this is also VAT paid on local purchase. Here 12.15 million local purchase. Here custom imports. So for the raw material, which include purchase of raw material to produce confectionery item, right? Confectionery item produce කරන්න ගෙන raw material. So here it specifically says local purchase mainly related to purchase of raw material to produce confectionery item. To produce local purchase mainly connect to produce confectionery item. Raw material to produce confectionery item. Then you need to think, then imports may be different from the normal local purchase, maybe which might use for the exempt supply as well. We never know. Let's read, right? Further information, right? In addition to SCP has paid another 3.25 million on VAT on miscellaneous local purchases. Then in addition to that, normal purchases, local purchases are there. In addition to that, another VAT payment is there, 3.25 million as VAT. Miscellaneous local purchases for day-to-day activities on the business, right? Day-to-day activities. Then this one very carefully they says for the production of confectionery item. So this is mainly applicable for the main business. Production of confectionery. Here miscellaneous. That means this purchases relating to all, right? All supplies. That means exempt supplies, zero rated supply, right? Then the local supplies as well, right? Miscellaneous purchases. These 350, right? Here also the custom upfront tax paid to Sri Lanka custom raw material import. Then the raw material import, right? Then this is done, right? Unutilized input tax brought forward. Unutilized input tax brought forward from the previous quarter was 11.5 million, right? Then we have to remember this one, we can take it at the end. And the VAT payment also given. Then the first month payment and the second month, January month, February 20th, February month, March 20th, they have paid. Then we can take this one as a tax credit as a final credit, right? So then these are the details. Let's look at the question now, the answer, right? So I will copy paste this detail for my business, right? So here, as per the financial statement, so financial statement as per the FS, these are the this column I will use it as it is given in the information given in the question, right? And here I would say value of supply. Then here VAT rate. Then here would be VAT. Right. Here. Then local purchases. Here local purchase, local sale of confectionery exclusive of VAT. That means VAT exclusive of VAT. Sale, local sales. Let's say local sale of confectionery. That means 100, right? Then how much? Rupees in 1,000. I will also use the same, right? Rupees in 1,000, right? Then it's easy for you as well. Rupees in 1,000, all the figures, right? So here, how much we have? 110, 200, right? 110, 200 as per the financial statement. So here, the exclusive of VAT, that means anyway value of supply would be the same, right? That means 100. Then the VAT rate, 15% I will take for this part as the rate. Right? Then this much would be your VAT, output VAT, right? Here I say output, right? Output VAT. Then the sale of confectionery here, inclusive of VAT. local sale ලංකාව ඇතුළේ විකුණපු, right? So here exclusive, right? Here it was exclusive, here inclusive, right? Inclusive in the sense 150. Here we can say without VAT. Here we can say with, right? Here we can say with, right? Right? Here then 100, 502, 600, 502, 600, right? Then if it is with that, value of supply always should be 100, right? Value of supply always should be 100. Then we have to convert this one into 100 by dividing 115 multiplied by 100, right? You will get this one, VAT rate would be this much, then multiplied by this, you will end up with, if you total these two, then it would be equal to 502, right? If you want, you can double check. It is equal to this one, right? Right. That part is also done. Then export of contact, that means export exclusive of it. Export we have, right? Export of contact, right? Here exclusive. It should be anyway exclusive in the sense without that, right? That means 100. Because export can 0 rate, right? 227, 300, right? 227, 300. Then the anyway same amount here, value of supply. Then the rate 0%. Then you will end up with 0, right? Right. Here anyway you have to make sure whether you are receiving foreign currency to a bank within 6 months, right? We receive foreign currency through a bank within 6 months. Yeah, then the next one is what? Next one, sale of, right? Local sale of tea. Local sale of tea, what it is? Sale of tea. Again here is exclusive, because anyway it should be exclusive because without that in the sense, why that should not be there, right? Right? So then 128, 600. 128, 600. Right? Then here the same. Here you can mention exempt, right? No need to do the calculation. Here you will get as, right? Then what else? Then the main revenue we have consider all these items. Then the scrap sale inclusive of that other income. And the scrap sale here inclusive in the sense with 115, right? 115, that means 1200, right? 1200. Then it is with VAT, no, we have to convert it to 100. Then this one divided by 115 multiplied by 100, you will get exactly 100 would be how much. Then here 15%. Then always that amount will be equal to this. Because if you total these two, it is equal to this, right? Then rental income exclusive of VAT. Anyway, they have liable, they are charging the VAT on rental income as well, right? Rental income. Here they have given exclusive of VAT. That means without VAT. That means here 100. Right? Exclusive of VAT, 36,000. That means anyway we can take as a piece of 6,000, value is 15%, that would be 5,400, right? Then after this point, hope you all clear, right? Hope you all clear. Then the total supply this much, and the VAT total would be this much, right? So then we have considered our total revenue up to now. Yeah, value of supply, this much of amount, and also the VAT component would be this much, right? Right. Okay. Then what we can do, right? Then the based on the information, we can look at other information given in the question, right? So here we have considered this one, scrap sale also done. Then here input things, right? Then from this part we can consider as input tax on custom, right? Input tax paid at the point of custom. So I would say input tax paid, right? As a deduction, input tax paid. So I'd say on custom, on imports. Input tax paid on imports, how much? On raw material. Yeah, its section clearly says it is belong to raw material for confectionery, right? Raw material, because they are raw material. Why they are getting raw material? Mainly for confectionery. Because if you look at the section carefully, here the sale of tea, what they are doing, they buy and sell. Buying and selling of tea, right? They do buying and selling. There won't be any production on this, right? There won't be any raw material purchase on sale of tea, right? They they do buying and selling of tea. Therefore, there won't be any input under imports, right? Imports එක ඇතුලේ තියෙන්න බෑ tea business එකට අදාළ ඒවා. මොකද මෙයාලා tea එකේ clearly කියනවා ගාන carefully read කරන්න ඕනේ in the exam, right? Carefully they are telling here buying and selling of tea, right? Buying and selling කියනකොට raw material තියෙන්න බෑ, right? So then it appears that මම මෙතන කලින් highlight කරේ එකයි. So this raw material import also, why? Again we can conclude this production of confectionery, right? So confectionery. And this one also confectionery, local purchase, and this one. Then we have doubt on this miscellaneous purchases, right? Miscellaneous purchases applicable for day to day, all the purchases. Then all it is connected to the maybe confectionery plus tea. This is mix up. This is a mix up, right? We have to think of this. We have to apportion based on the turnover, right? We will come to this later, right? So then the first part, raw material mainly in the section is production, right? Raw material for confectionery. Raw material purchase for confectionery is how much? 1925.25, right? Purchase of. Then the input tax paid on local purchases. Input tax paid on local purchase, also raw material, right? Also raw material for confectionery. Here it's also 12.15, right? 1,150, right? 12,150 euros. So this is also taken as discussed. Very important. Both are connected to the raw material for production. Raw material, right? Raw material for production, right? Because tea business, if you take, they do buying and selling on it. They do buying and selling, right? There won't be any production, raw material related. things are not there, right? So then these two I have, it's clear, right? Raw material thing, right? Then you have to look at local purchases on local purchase, raw material input paid on local purchases relating to mixed supply, right? Applicable to mixed supply. That's applicable to all, right? Mix all, right? All sales, all supplies. All supply can VAT lowercase supply in the sense sales thing, right? All supplies. Then how much local purchases here, not raw material for all, right? Here for, I would say, for confectionery plus tea. Tea is X, right? And how much is there? 3,000, 3,250, 3,250, right? 3,250 is there. Then you have to disallow how much attributable to exempt supply. මේක ඔක්කොටම තියෙන exempt supply කොච්චරක්ද කියලා බලලා ඒකට අදාළ portion එක disallow කරන්න ඕනේ. Right? You have to disallow input tax attributable to exempt supply out of this, right? Input tax, disallow input tax on, you have to remove, right? I would say less, disallow, disallowable input tax paid on except supply. Supply in the sense sales. Exempt supply or on T කියලා දැම්මත් right? Input tax on T, right? How much? How to disallow, right? How to disallow? Can we identify specifically? In the question says combination. We can't identify, or the accountant in the real life business scenario also, they can't identify directly which is connected to how much, right? If it is so, you have to do a turnover basis apportion, right? In Sinhala, we can say අච්චරට මෙච්චර නම් මෙච්චරට කොච්චර, right? In simple theory, right? So you can do the same thing here. අච්චරට මෙච්චර නම් මෙච්චරට කොච්චර, right? So the same thing you can apply here. If it is total, if it is this, right? Then what you have to do is you have to take total input, right? So total supply. This one you have to divide by total supply, and you have to multiply it by exempt, right? Because this, for this part you have to eliminate, right? Eliminate that because you can't claim input tax on exempt supply. Exempt sale එකට අදාළ input තියෙනවා නම් ඒවා claim කරන්න බෑ, right? Right? අච්චරට මෙච්චර නම් එච්චරට කොච්චරද, right? So the same theory, you have to eliminate that part, right? Then the claimable allowable input tax would be on mixed supply would be this much. So I will take these two somewhere here, right? Here, this again, this you can take allowable input on mixed supply. Allowable input tax paid on mixed supply. Mixed supply in the sense, you know that what it is, right? Allowable input tax on mixed supply. Right? All right. Clear? Right. Hope it's clear to everyone, right? So then total would be here how much? I just total this much of amount will be total input as of now, right? Then right? Right. Clear? Then what you have to do? then you have to identify how much would be allowable in total, right? Allowable input tax calculation. Because in the previous section, discuss I didn't discuss input tax attributable to zero rated or exempt supply, right? The zero rated and exempt supply. Because when there is a requirement in the VAT law and the VAT return also, they request you to apportion input tax rate into zero rated or SVAT. Because zero rate or SVAT රටෙන් අදාළ input අපිට claim කරන්න පුළුවන් restriction එක නැතුව. ඒක නිසා ඒක අරගෙන වෙනමම ගන්න පුළුවන්. But there won't be any difference by doing this one, right? මොකද අපි මේ calculation කේ requirement එකක් තියෙනවා. If any input tax relating to zero or SVAT supply, right? Zero කියන්නේ export වලට අදාළ තියෙනවා නම් inputs. නැත්නම් SVAT නම් මේ ගන්න නැහැ. zero එකට අදාළ input මොකද අනිවාර්යයෙන් අපිට claim කරන්න පුළුවන් restriction එක 100% restriction එක අදාළ වෙන්නේ. 100% restriction will not be applicable for zero rated and SVAT sale. Therefore, how much attributable to zero rated and SVAT, then you can claim it that one without any issue, right? So allowable input tax calculation, then that computation is required. If you wish, you can do it, right? So I will do that one as well. So then you can easily understand what is that requirement and how to do it, right? But anyway, answer will not be different. Most of the cases, the answer will be the same, right? Input, allowable input tax calculation, right? Then as per the law permit, we are allowed to claim input tax attributable to zero rated and SVAT supply without any restriction. Entire input tax attributable to zero rate and exempt supply අදාළ inputs ටික ඔකට claim කරන්න පුළුවන්. We can claim entirely. So input tax relating to input tax relating to zero rate or export zero rate and SVAT. We can claim how much. We have to do the calculation how much it is. Okay. So before going to that, we'll look at, yes, this one also taken. Then we have on the brought forward. Yes, we will take the brought forward one and the payment. Then the next, right? After doing this apportionment, right? First of all, you need to do apportionment, then only get the brought forward one, right? Right. So how much would be the apportion, right? So here you have to take on input total input, right? Total input would be this much, right? So total input would be this much. You have to divide it by the input total supply. Here, before moving to supply, I just forgot one thing. Here, you have to remove exempt supply from here, right? Exempt supply. You have to remove exempt supply from here in order to get exactly taxable supplies. Because taxable supply ටික විතරක් ගන්න කීයද කියලා බලන්න, right? So you need to get the exactly how much taxable supplies are there. This much of amounts are belong to taxable supply, right? This much of amounts belong to taxable supply. Then taxable supply amount you can consider here. If you take total supply 940, right? Out of that exempt එක අයින් කරොත් අපි ඉතුරු ටිකට කියනවා other than exempt supply we call taxable supply. Then the other than exempt material කියනවා taxable supply, right? Material කියනවා taxable supply. Then out of that, if any input tax relating to zero rated supply, make it අදාළ zero rate තියෙනවා, right? if you have any input tax attributable to zero rated supply, yes, you can claim it, right? You can claim it, right? You can claim it. So therefore, you have to take input tax attributable to this without any restriction. 100% restriction එක අදාළ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඔයාලට claim කරන්න පුළුවන්. So here, then how much input tax attributable to zero rated supply? SVAT නිසා zero rated supply එකට අදාළව input කොච්චරක් තියෙනවද? ඒකට අපි කරනවා total input divided by taxable supply multiplied by zero rated, right? එතකොට එච්චරට මෙච්චර නම් එච්චරට කොච්චරද, right? The same thing, you can do that, right? So once you calculate it, you will get here. If you not get the same thing, you can refer total input tax applicable for this quarter. May quarter එකට අදාළ brought forward නැතුව, right? Without taking the brought forward, only input tax relating to this quarter divided by the taxable supply. Exempt supply නැතුව divided by taxable supply multiplied by the zero rated supply. Zero rated එකට අදාළව input ටික අනිවාර්යෙන් වට claim කරන්න පුළුවන්. That means you can directly, straight away, you can take it into the computation, right? As a deduction, right? Make water claim minus the claim output thing. You can deduct exactly without any restriction, right? Then the other than above, right? Other than above means other than zero rated. The input tax related to zero rated and exempt would be how much? Out of 33, the balance would be for other supplies. Right? That means other taxable. Maybe better. So other taxable, right? These exempt like anyway you have to claim from bank. So right, 24 other than above. Other than above would be 24. Right? Then here would be total would be again equal to 33, right? 33. And just splitting that into the requirement as you are aware. Why? Because most of the scenario in the previous question one, if you refer, I didn't do this one, right? Because you will get the same answer. But the splitting is why is the requirement? You can claim input tax relating to zero rate and SVAT without any 100% saving, 100% restriction of the output tax. Then I will include the same simple basic VAT questions by discussing all these principles. But here I'm really focusing on the educated students or those who are interested to get in deep understanding of VAT calculation, right? Therefore, I will not discuss here in theory in deep, right? So therefore, I will run on this, right, without discussing the theory in deep, right? So you can get 24 million here, 24,464 as other than above. Then you can include brought forward part, right? Brought forward input tax, right, from the previous quarter, from the previous quarter, right? Brought forward input tax, how much in the question? We had 11.5, right? 11.500. We have brought forward, and allowable input should be, right? Allowable input tax should be, yeah. Brought forward is this one, right? Other than about this one, I will remove the total here for the time being because this one anyway we can claim it. So out of these two, we can again compare, right? Altogether these two, other than above and brought forward, again 35, right? Again 35. So 35 million, then allowable input tax, equal allowable input tax, right? We call this allowable input tax. Then what you can do is you have to limit it to 100% of the output, right? Of output. Limit 100% of the output. Then the 100% of the output means output would be how much? Output 87 million. Anyway, output එකට අදාළ ගාන විතරයි ගන්න පුළුවන්. Anyway, output would be 87. That means you can go with the entire 35 million claim. Right? There won't be any carry forward to next part. So here, if there are any balance, you can carry it forward to next part, right? So carry it forward to carry forward input tax part. There won't be any carry forward amounts here, right? Here, if you assume that here, as I discussed in the first section, if you have 20 million output, right, then always you can't claim, you have to limit it to 100%. Then balance you have to carry forward, right? Balance you have to carry forward. The same thing. Then here you are claiming only 20, right? This 20 million and this 20 million will set off. Anyway, input tax related to zero rated, anyway, you can claim it. Then you will end up with a refund, right? You will end up with a refund situation. But here, we don't have that because output is 87. We can claim entire inputs available without any restriction or carried forward amount, right? Because 100% of the output of the input tax claim කරන්න පුළුවන් 100% of the output එකට. Anyway, we have only 35 so we can claim entire. So in that case, you can deduct entire 35 million here. So I will take that here, right? I will take it here. Then as a deduction, right? As a deduction. Then after deducting these two, right? After deducting these two, we can say tax payable or VAT payable would be how much? VAT payable would be 42 million, right? Right. Here we have taken this one, right? The if you look at this one, right? If you look at this one, right? So total input, if you want the total, I will total for your understanding purpose, right? If you total these two, total input would be this much, right? Total input. Total output would be this much, output minus input, right? You will get the balance, right? Payable, right? Right, payable. Here, if you look at the input, see 45, right? 45. If you didn't split this one and this one, if you total, the same amount would be here. That's why I didn't apportion on this one, because previous input tax and the previous brought forward amount, if you total these two, it's equal to 45. May split කරගත්තේ requirement එක අනුව, but it's not a mandatory, right? But better to do that one, right? Which you can. So here, if you take this one, and load forward amount, it is equal to 45. The same thing, right? Make a split කරලා දාන එක තමයි requirement එක. මොකද මේකේ restriction එක අදාළ වෙන්නේ. ඔයාලට claim කරන්න පුළුවන්. 100% restriction එක අදාළ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. 100% restriction is applicable if you are 20 million. Here you can claim only for this, out of this and brought forward. You can claim only 100% of the output. Right? මෙතන එහෙනම් claim කරන්න you can claim only 20. Balance you have carried forward. So then here you can claim only 20. Right. Here you can claim only 20. Right? So then in that case you will end up with refund situation, not the VAT payable. Right? So that's why I explain here it again and again, right? The same thing. Yeah, you will not get the same answer as a refund situation. You can claim entire inputs available, right? Right. So then in that case, if you can split that one into two, main interest VAT, how much, right? Here, when you are splitting that, always if you have exempt supply, you remove that part first, right? Take the only taxable supply. Very important that. Take the taxable supply, right? Divide by that and multiply by the zero rate supply. And you will get it. Input tax rate zero rate or exact supply this much, right? Then VAT payable, the final part. Then after VAT payable, you can deduct monthly VAT paid, right? VAT paid as tax credit, VAT payment, right? VAT monthly VAT payment, okay? Monthly VAT payment. We have in the question January month payment and the February month payment. As per the given due dates, also the correct. They have paid February, and here they have paid March as per the question, right? February 20th and March 20th, 450 and 250, right? In thousand. Right here you can deduct 450 and 250, right? 450 and 250 as quarterly payment, right? Then after deducting these two, we can end up with balance VAT payable or refunded. Then there will be balance VAT payable, right? Balance VAT payable. This is the one for the month of March payment. It is due on April 20th. Balance VAT payable. We call it refund due. Here it's a payable. Here it's payable. It's a payable. This is due on 20th April. Right? 20th April. Because March month payment due on April 20th. Right? Once you paid that one, we can say March 20th. Once you paid, we can, when you are submitting the return, we can take this figure into here. Right? If you take this figure as paid, we will end up with 0. Right? We'll end up with 0. Hope this is clear. Then the return for this quarter, it's due on VAT return. VAT return is due on 30th April. Right? 30th April 2023. VAT return is due on for this quarter. Right? Hope this is clear, everyone. In the previous section, if you can remember, we discussed only the specifically the section says input tax attributable to exemption, right? It specifically says, right? Then we have eliminated. Here we did some apportionment, and also in this section we took input tax attributable to zero rated supply. Just disclosure purpose, we have taken that one separately. But even if you're not taken, but your answer will be the same. But some professional exam, you will get marked for this apportionment as well, for input tax attributable to zero rated or asset supplies. Then you will get some mark for the apportionment. In that case, you have to do this part, right? Hope this is clear to everyone. If you have any question, you can comment on this YouTube. video, and any question you can reach out to me. So hope it's clear to everyone. Then wish all the very best for the exam and see you in another video. Thank you.